Hi, my name is CPearson, and this is my oral defense of my industry paper, the poultry industry. So this is what I have learned about the industry throughout during this research. I was born and raised in Springdale, Arkansas. I've been here my entire life except for the 3 years that I spent in Russellville when I was getting my bachelor's. Still live in Springdale to this day. I went to school with Tysons. They were the grandchildren to some of the Tyson heirs. And yet I've never understood the true impact of the poultry industry. So this research was enlightening for me and really opened my eyes to my immediate surroundings more than anything. I learned that the poultry industry officially started in 1923 by a Miss Wilmer Steele. She had raised and sold 500 broilers, which are chickens used strictly for their meat. She did it all by herself, 500 in 1923. As soon as that started, the industry just took off. Within 3 years, she went from 500 broilers to 10,000 chicks that she was raising to sell for meat and eggs. The industry started in Georgia, Arkansas, and New England due to our climate, the desirable land amount that we had, as well as the water availability that we had to raise and breed these chickens and broilers. Three major companies that I learned about throughout this project was Tyson Food Inc., Pilgrim's Pride Corporation, and Purdue Farms Inc., which is actually a private company. All of these companies hatch, raise, process, distribute, package. They do all of it for their own chicken products, which makes them very strong competitors in this industry. Tyson was named 66th in the Fortune 500 in June 2016, and they had $1,768 million in net income in year 2016. Pilgrim's Pride ended with $645.9 million in net income. And Purdue Farms, they're a private company, so I could not find their net income, but I did find that they made $6,339 million in just sales revenue alone. So all three of these companies are not only strong competitors within the industry, but also to each other. Like I said, they all do the hatcheries, the raising, processing, distributing, all of that. So they do directly compete with one another. Some threats that I learned within this industry include the air emissions that are being put out from the chicken houses and farms, as well as the water runoff that comes from these chicken houses that has all of the manure and waste in it. Both of these things threaten the industry because they're environmental hazards, and if anything is trending lately, it's going green and being environmentally friendly. So these environmentalists are seeing these negative environmental impacts from the industry, and they're going to take the steps necessary to make sure that that is taken care of. These are also known as regulatory issues, because this is something that can happen at every single chicken plant. And these are things that need to be taken care of and regulated to reduce the air emission and the wastewater runoff that is affecting our environment. Current trends right now in the industry include further processing of chicken. Back in the day, you could get just a whole chicken, featherless, a whole chicken ready to cook and be cut up. But nowadays, they're further processing that. You can get just wings, you can get just thighs, you can get just breast, you can get tenderloins, you can get all different cuts and styles and mixes and sections of the chicken now, instead of just a whole chicken. Of course, that's still an option too. Another trend is not adding hormones to chickens. Again, health, environment, everything is trending right now. Healthy lifestyles, environmentally friendly. So these added hormones are having negative effects on the consumers, on us as consumers. And a lot of places, Tyson for one, is priding themselves on not adding hormones to their chicken and having naturally and more fresh chicken for the consumers to eat. foreign markets for the poultry industry right now, our foreign market is huge. Even in just year 2001, so about 15 years ago, 15, 16 years ago, the foreign market was worth more than $2 billion and accounted for 20% of the total poultry production here in America. So 20% of all the poultry that America is producing has been given to the foreign markets. That is a huge percentage, and that is a big chunk of change that's coming from overseas. So the foreign market is definitely a big part in the poultry industry. And the poultry industry has a huge economic impact on us. One, like I said, I'm from Springdale. I never realized how big of an impact it has, how big of a contribution it is to our economy. Through research, I found that the poultry industry supplies 1.6 million jobs just here in the United States. So that's 1.6 million people that have jobs because of the chicken industry. With those jobs comes $96.7 billion in wages each year, as well as $35 billion in tax revenue as well. That is a huge economic impact. That makes a big difference in our everyday life. So not only is the poultry industry providing us with food for the table and to feed our children and families, but it's also providing us with jobs, incomes, taxes, everything. It's a major role in the United States economy today. I believe that if I was offered a job in this industry, I don't think I could take it. I'll eat chicken all day, every day. I love some chicken, but I cannot be involved in the process of the poultry industry. I don't have it in me to be a part of the killing and plucking and processing. I couldn't do that. I think the industry provides millions of jobs, obviously, for Americans that can handle that, and thank God for them, because like I said, I love to eat chicken. It pays well. I believe I read that an average salary for someone working in the poultry industry is about $53,000 a year. So that's pretty good for a start-off position, especially in poultry industry. And that includes benefits, and I think it would be a good job for somebody, but not for me. So I learned a lot about the poultry industry through this research project. Again, I live in Springdale, Arkansas, and it has really opened my eyes to what's around me. When I drive by and see a chicken plant, I wonder, what processes are they going in through there? What kind of marketing does this processing plant have? What kind of packaging does it use? What kind of distribution channels does this industry or does this plant go to? It's really piqued my interest in this industry as a whole, and I've learned a lot about the poultry industry. So thank you so much.